You know, some days you want a salad and other days you want some grilled chicken and vegetables. Today, neither one of them days.
Oh yeah. 3, 2, 1.
So you guys know that pulled pork and macaroni and cheese are both legends on their own. Well, today we're mashing them together and we're gonna bake it and it's gonna be fantastic. 10 hours. This one's gonna take 10 hours, folks. So have your slow cooker ready. Let's head over to my tiny little kitchen and see what we need to make this incredible pulled pork macaroni and cheese. Now, there's nothing fancy about today's recipe, just slow-cooked pork, cheesy pasta, and a complete disregard for moderation. All right, so this is everything. Now, clearly, the star of the show is this bone-in butt roast. This one's 7 pounds. You don't need 7 pounds. I just wanted extra for, you know, like some pulled pork sandwiches and stuff. So I took advantage of the fact it was only 16 bucks for 7 pounds. So that's what we got. It's going to need about 10 hours in the slow cooker. So we're going to get started first thing tomorrow morning. The rest of the ingredients are pretty straightforward, and I'll have the full list and measurements down in the description. Now I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night because we're gonna have to get started first thing in the morning about 6 a.m. if I want this thing done around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. It is 6 a.m. the next morning. If you can't tell, I just woke up. Now, we have 7 pounds of pork to prep and a rub to create before we can put it in the slow cooker. So let's do that. All right, it's time to make us a rub. Now this is for 7 pounds. I got 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of paprika, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of salt. That's for my 7 pound roast. You might want to cut that in half if you're using like a 3 pound roast or a 4 pound roast. Mix that up. And you're probably wondering, well, wait a minute. Why don't we just take the meat, put it in the slow cooker, and just throw the seasoning right on top of it? Well, because I have an idea. So I'm gonna pat this bad boy dry, and once we get it patted dry, we're gonna put our rub all over it. Now the idea here is once we put the spices all over the meat and we get it in the slow cooker, that the steam that the slow cooker produces will moisten the spices and will act as like a marinade. At least that's how I see it happening in my head. So we're gonna put it in there, and now we gotta add our liquid smoke to our chicken broth, and we're gonna just pour it around the sides. So this is what I'm doing. And once we get that done, now we can put a cap on it. And we're gonna set it on low and set your timer for 10 hours, and we'll be right back. Now, clearly, I've got a ton of time to kill today, so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to talk a little bit about my merch store, where you can get an awesome hat just like this, as well as t-shirts and sweatshirts and mugs and all kinds of stuff. Check it out in the description, as well as I want to give a little bit of love to my partner, W Energy. Drink W Energy because, well, why not? All right, so it's been 9.5 hours. Let's take a quick look at it. Yeah, it is not quite ready. It's not fall off the bone. So it's got a lot of juices in there. I think that's gonna help it out. I'm gonna go ahead and give it another hour, 2 hours. We'll check on it again, but it's gonna take a little bit more time. Well, that's what I get for going for a 7 pound roast, which is fine. You guys are gonna do like a 2.5, 3 pound roast, so 10 hours is gonna be perfect. For me, actually, this works out because it's 90 degrees outside right now. So you can about imagine how hot it is in here, and I'm not in a huge hurry to fire up that oven, but dinner still has to be made, so. All right, let's try this again. Oh, let's see. That's what I'm talking about. All right, I think we're ready. All right, now we're gonna pull this out and start pulling it apart. I just put it in this big glass bowl and just started shredding it. You want to shred, no, take your time. You don't want any big chunks. There was a big chunk that wasn't quite ready. I put it back in the slow cooker. Just take your time with it. Once you get it done, I put everything back in all those fabulous juices. And now we got to get our water going for our pasta. We got to get the noodles cooked off. We want to cook them just al dente, if that, just barely al dente. Now, I got 8 ounces of cheddar and 8 ounces of Colby Jack, and I'm just going to shred them both. Get all that cheese, because we're going to be needing like 4 cups of it. All right, well, cheese is shredded. We want the pasta to be just under al dente. We don't want it totally, we don't want it fully cooked for sure, and we don't want it al dente. We want it just under. And the meat's back in the slow cooker, so it's still doing its thing. And we are almost ready to start making some sauce. All right, first thing we're gonna do for our sauce is add 4 tablespoons of butter. Get that melted down. We're gonna add 4 tablespoons of flour. We're gonna cook that flour off. Make sure we get that flour flavor cooked out of it. And next thing we're gonna do is start adding our cream or our milk little by little. Just keep whipping it. Keep it nice and creamy. Okay, well, start adding our spices. All right, for spices, we're putting in 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of regular paprika, half a teaspoon of black pepper, and half a teaspoon of salt, and mix that up real good. All right, now turn the heat down low. Now we're going to start adding our cheese, starting with the white American slices. All right, so one at a time, we're just going to put the cheese slices in and whip it up, get that nice and melted. And we're going to do about 6 of them. It's up to you, 4, 6. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more milk to it. I needed to thin it out just a little bit, so a little milk went in. And now we're going to add our shredded cheese. Now we got 4 cups to try to get through here. You may not want to use all 4 cups, but I want mine stupid cheesy. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Let's try it out. That's great. All right. Perfect. Now we got to get the noodles in a bowl and cheese sauce over the noodles, and we can put it in the oven. All right, the macaroni and the cheese sauce is combined. Now we're just gonna lay it out in our 9x13 baking dish, fill it up nice, smooth it out. Then we're gonna start adding our pulled pork right to the top. We're gonna drizzle our barbecue sauce over it, and in the oven it goes for 350 degrees for about 25 minutes. All right, let's take a look. That looks fantastic. I think she's done. Let's pull her out. Oh yeah, baby. That right there is what I'm talking about. Let's put some green onions on it, dish it up. And we're just gonna sprinkle some green onions right over the top, and that is ready to be served. A feast fit for a king, queen, and the whole court. Look at that. That's gorgeous. Can't wait to try it. Well, there you have it. Pulled pork, macaroni, and cheese, broke gourmet style. Now that 7-pound roast took a good 12 hours to cook, so unless you and there's a lot left over, so unless you want a lot, I'd go for like a 3 or 4 pounder. 100% more than enough.
Now, I haven't got to try it yet. I got some right here. Give it a shot. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Talk about cheesy. Wow. And you can tell the difference that there's more than just cheddar cheese in there. And that barbecue sauce. That's why I liked just putting it over the top and not mixing it with it, you know, so you can adjust it however you want. And I just used the cheap Walmart brand Great Value barbecue sauce. Nothing fancy here, but you know, it's perfect. It's perfect. Hey, if you guys like what I do on my channel, do me a favor, like the video, consider subscribing. I hope you guys try this out. It took a long time, I know, but man, was it worth it. And I will see you in the next one.